Welcome to the City of Avondale's Parks, Recreation, and Libraries training on athletic field preparation. As a valued employee with the City of Avondale, we want to give you all the necessary tools to do your job more efficiently. The following training will guide you through the process of how to prepare the fields for league and tournament play at Friendship Park, Donnie Hale Park, and Festival Fields according to PRLD standards. Some of you may have already been preparing the fields prior to this training. If that is the case, then this training will serve as a refresher in the techniques of PRLD standards of athletic field preparation. If you are new to preparing athletic fields, this training will guide you step by step in how to prepare one of our baseball or softball fields for league and tournament play. The next section will introduce you to the basics of athletic field preparation by giving you the background of how fields are constructed, the dimensions of fields, and some of the tools and equipment you will need to do your job more efficiently.
Basic components of a baseball field. In order to understand how to prepare a baseball or softball field for play, it is important to know how these fields are constructed. In this next section, we will give you a brief overview of what it takes to construct a ball field.
Subsection of an athletic field. An athletic field is made up of 7 layers. The top layer is the layer everyone can see, which is the grass or sod layer that is prevalent in the outfield and infield surface of a baseball field. The second layer is the root zone layer, which is the layer that helps the grass to grow. It is usually a mixture of topsoil and clay. The third layer is the drainage gravel layer, which helps the field to drain off excess water so puddling on the field is kept to a minimum. The fourth layer is the subgrade level for drainage. The fifth layer is where the irrigation system for a field is installed. This is how the field will be watered through the in-ground sprinkler system. The sixth layer is the field drainage system. This is the layer that helps the field drainage filter water from the field to the drainage collector. The seventh and final layer is the field drainage collector. This is the part of the field that hooks the runoff drainage into the city sewer system. Basic components of a baseball field. When planning to construct a baseball or softball field, the first thing needed is approximately 3 to 5 acres of relatively level open ground. While deciding on a playing area, there are 4 necessary considerations for creating a quality playing surface: adequate water drainage, a properly designed, installed, and maintained irrigation system, a sound maintenance program to address turf and clay conditions, and the necessary equipment and structures needed to build the physical facility. It may interest you to know the placement of home plate determines a field's layout. You want to construct the field so the pitcher is throwing across the sun and the batter is not facing the sun. It is best if the line from home plate through the pitcher's mound and second base runs east to northeast. It is vital that home plate, the pitcher's mound, and second base are all in alignment so the field is constructed at a 90-degree angle. The next step in constructing a baseball field is creating the cutout for the dirt infield. Once the cutout has been created, the dirt is removed, then the bases and pitching area are staked out. Most recreational fields use multiple base and pitching mound distances. The third step is leveling the field and digging the holes for the base anchoring system. The fourth step in creating a baseball field is the construction of foul lines and poles. Using a string from home plate through first base, the string runs all the way to the outfield wall to mark off the placement of the foul line. The foul pole should be placed on the inside of the foul line. The final consideration for building a baseball field is the outfield fence. The distance varies with the field of play. Safety for players should be a major consideration when installing fencing. Baseball fields have various distances from home plate to outfield walls, but generally fall between 300 and 450 feet from home plate to center field. Basic components of a softball field. The construction of a softball field is very similar to a baseball field with just a few differences. The main differences are the smaller field dimensions, and the entire infield has had all the grass removed, or more commonly known as skinning. The distance from home plate to the center of second base is 84 feet 10 1/4 inches. The pitching rubber is between 40 and 55 feet from home plate. The pitcher is at the same level as the batter and does not pitch from a mound. The minimum distance to center field can be no less than 200 feet. The distance between bases range from 60 to 70 feet. Field dimensions. The following are diagrams of a high school baseball and youth softball field. In Avondale, we have 2 baseball fields at Friendship Park that use 40-foot bases for t-ball, coach pitch, and Little League Baseball. We also use 60-foot bases for older youth teams. We have 1 softball field at Friendship Park, 1 youth field at Donnie Hale Park, and 4 multi-use fields at the Festival Field Complex. Bases for all youth softball leagues are set at 60 foot, and bases for all adult softball leagues are at 65 feet. The pitching rubber for youth leagues is set at 40 feet, and the pitching rubber for adult leagues is set at 50 feet. Now we will take a look at some of the equipment and tools needed to prepare an athletic field for play. This is not an all-inclusive list, but the items mentioned here are the ones you will use most on the job. Rakes and shovels. You will need a variety of rakes and shovels to help you smooth out the infield and fill in holes. The main rake you will use is a ball field rake. This rake has oversized teeth for grooming and a smooth side to level the area you are raking. The main shovel you will use is a square shovel, so named because of the shape of the shovel. Tamper. This tool is primarily for flattening and smoothing dirt. You will use it around home plate, the bases, and pitching area. Water-resistant broom. We use a broom when we are completing the finishing touches to the field. It helps to clean up stray lines and erase footprints so fields are left in a pristine condition when we are finished. Base sleeve dig-out tool. This tool has a curved end to help dig out the dirt from the base sleeve so you are able to insert the bases so they are level with the ground. You will also use it at the end of the night to pull up the bases after the games have finished. Another purpose of this tool is to help stir the chalk so it does not harden in the machine. Base plugs. These are important because they keep the dirt from falling into the base sleeves when the field is being dragged. We use 4 plugs per each field, 2 for first base, 1 for second base, and 1 for third base. We also use the plugs for marking the bases according to our field dimension guidelines. For example, adult softball players play at 65 feet, but our fields may have base plugs at 40 and 60 feet for youth games. Stakes, screwdrivers, and string. These are the tools you will use when lining the field. You will use the stakes or screwdrivers to hold the string in place as you run the liner over the string. Dry line marker. This is the equipment you will use to draw the base lines on each field. The liner makes a 4-inch stripe and can be lined up with the stripe on the lid to chalk a straight line. 1 bag of chalk liner can line 2 fields. Drag mat. This is the equipment you will use to drag the field. It is made of aluminum mesh with connecting rods that hooks to the gator. The mat measures 6 feet by 4 feet. The final piece of equipment you need to know about is the gator. The gator is a utility vehicle that has a bed to carry the supplies to each field. It is also used to drag the fields.